What's happening, everyone? You're here with Jono for another quick math lesson. Today we're going to be talking about how to divide any kind of algebraic expression. This is something that does come back all the way through to year 12 maths, so it is a really good skill to get on top of nice and early. So the first step for these ones is we've always got to write any type of algebraic expression in a fraction form instead of a divide, okay? So for this one, where we've got 4ab divided by 6a, our first step is to write it in fraction form. Remember that line across in a fraction does just mean divide. Then the first step for this one is that we just divide the numbers like normal. So we're just simplifying these numbers. So in this one, 4 over 6, there's a common factor of 2 in between each one. So I'm going to divide each term by 2, which becomes 2 over 3. So in this example, I'm going to write 2 over 3. I am just going to leave that fraction line a little bit long, okay? Just because it's going to help us a little bit later to make sure that our working out looks quite neat. Then the next step, and this step that kind of comes from this idea of cancelling a common factor, is to cancel out any letter that's the same on the top and the bottom. So what this is saying is that there's a times a on the top and a times a on the bottom. So because these two things are the same and they're being divided, they kind of cancel each other out. And that's the word that you're going to hear quite a lot in maths, like those two things cancel. The way that I think about it is that a letter on the top and a letter on the bottom kind of fight each other, and each one of them dies or goes away, and what's left over is going to be put in our fraction. So in this one, we've got an A on the top and an A on the bottom, so we cross those two out. There's nothing to do with the B on the bottom, so all we do is write our B there, and that's our final answer. So the simplified version of this is 2b over 3. Okay, so there are the notes for that one, so please copy that down when you get a chance. We're just going to have a look at a couple of examples of this just to make sure we're on top of it. So I really don't mind if you do the cancelling on the actual questions itself to save a little bit of time and space, but I'm going to write them out in full over on the right hand side here. So for this first one, we've got 14 and 7. The common factor between those is 7. So if I divide this by 7, I'm left with 2. And if I divide this by 7, I'm left with 1. So that's my first step. So I know I've got a 2 up the top, and I'm not going to write that 1 because we never have to. And then I'm going to put in my kind of longer fraction just to make sure I've got some space. So I've got 2 x's on top and 1 x on the bottom. So this first x down here takes out one of the x's up here, but we've got 1 x left over, so he goes up the top. Then this last y battles the y down the bottom, gets rid of one of them, but there's 1 y left over, so that's going to hang out there. And that is your final answer. That's all you've got to do. If you leave the 1 in there like this, that's not incorrect, but it's just kind of mathematical standard to just leave it as 2x over y. All right. One of the big hints for this one is that people see the letters and they go, oh, this isn't like normal maths anymore. But it is. The numbers are exactly the same. We do the exact same things that we usually do. So you can just put them in your calculator if you want. So in this one, I can't remember what the highest common factor between 28 and 36 is. So if I just put in my calculator 28 over 36, the calculator gives me a simplified fraction. So if I do this one, I've got 7 over 9. And as long as you put that longer fraction in, you're going to find this cruisy. So once I do the numbers, I can just get to cancelling like I have before. So this first x battles one of the x's down the bottom, and there's an x left over. So we've got an x down the bottom by itself. There's an a up the top there and no a at the bottom. So that means the a remains at the top. Then one of these two b's gets rid of one of those b's, and there is a b left up there as well. That's my final answer, and I don't have to do anything else, okay? I really hope you kind of take some time to practice this. The cancelling step really comes down to just bothering to finish off the question, but I'm sure you're going to find it easy. Just throwing those little marks in are really going to help you know what to write, and it'll show your teacher you know exactly what's going on. Thanks very much, guys. Hope you have a good one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Congratulations on taking some time to get better at this algebra. I know it can be a little bit difficult sometimes. If you do need some extra work, remember there are some free worksheets linked in the description below, as well as the notes that came from this video, so you don't have to pause it and scribble them down. If you do get a second, please like and subscribe to the channel because there'll be new maths videos coming out every couple of days. Thanks so much. Have a good one.